A man has to propose to you first.
You act like we have to get married. Like
I don't give a shit if you get married. I don't give a no. Understand something.
And I'm gonna
Understand
be
something. I don't
happily
give a.
ever
But
after if I have a man.
this is the same woman who came on complaining about how she get relationships and she doesn't.
For the conversation that I have for you guys here today, we must go back in time. All right. Kevin was doing an Instagram after dark discussion. And I say after dark, there's going to be a bunch of cuss words I got to take up out of here, right? Yeah, but he was doing one of these Instagram conversations. By the way, make sure you guys are still subscribed to Kevin's channel. I know YouTube, some people say that they get unsubscribed from people's channel. Make sure that you are, because there's a team over there that now has access to his back catalog, content that was unlisted or that he privated, and as well as his back catalog on his Instagram. So a lot of things that you guys have never seen before, and they're beginning to roll out content up to the YouTube platform. Nevertheless, I wanted to go back in time and pull back this conversation to have a current conversation about it. All right. But Kevin went live and he was talking about essentially the difference between a wife and a 304 and why you should never wife up a 304 and exactly the reasons why, right? Being a man of value and of self-respect, why would you do a disservice to all that you have built? And in the heat of him popping off, a young lady came up to have a conversation in which they had a spirited debate. Again, make sure that you guys are subscribed to their channel so you could be updated as soon as a new video pops off. But with that in mind, let's get active. Without further ado.
Ladies, hear me and hear me well. If you're hoeing, you can't be a housewife. There's this, can I go from OnlyFans to squaring up? No. Mm-mm. And just because you can find one or two anecdotal cases, once a hoe, always a hoe.
Talk to him, Kevin.
You know where I'm getting this from? From the kind of men you ladies say you want. Once a hoe, always a hoe.
Forever and ever.
No vice president of mergers and acquisition wants to date center stage Candy. They don't want to do that. No guy who's the director of logistics wants to be dealing with the woman who was the Thursday girl at the men's club.
Yeah.
The guy don't want to be like, I remember her. She was at the bachelor party. You got to understand that these men, you're going to be a representation. You know how messed up it can be to bring a former hoe into a company function?
Come on.
Now, this is coming from a guy who took a high-end escort to a company party.
Yeah.
But she was a high-end escort. And I was playing the game, and it turned out great for me.
Yeah.
But that's not a hoe. That's a high-end escort. A hoe is something that I can go to any club and see your ass.
Yeah.
If I can't screw you on the first night, but I can go to Magic City and see your innards for $20.
Where he get that
What the hell you think you're holding out for? Think about it. I'm going to make you wait for 90 days. Chick, I see you on Mondays at Magic City. I've seen your birth canal. There it is. If people don't know your face, but then you turn around and spread your ass, and they're like, "Oh, Megan,
recognize you." Now listen, I just did this conversation from the It's Giving podcast of Carlos Miller talking about hoes make the best housewives, and what I say within that conversation is that and I completely disagree because of the image or the perception everyone else knows that she a hoe can do to your brand. Yeah, will she understand men a little bit more? Yeah, will she have probably a little bit more realistic thinking? Perhaps, but what does any of that have to do with the obligation or the duties within the role of being a wife? But notice how Kevin's also making a distinction between a professional hoe, an escort, versus just a plain straight up 304 who don't get paid for her activities and just likes the feeling of climax.
Nobody wants to marry a hoe, ladies. I don't care how fine a hoe you are. You're a hoe. You know how many women have tried to square up? There are anecdotal, but you talk about percentages. What percentage of women can go from being an only girl, a stripper, or a average escort and get married. The percentages are low. High-end escorts, completely different thing. Because high-end escorts are for a select clientele. Most people don't even know these women are call girls.
Mm-hmm. They're
I'm gonna tell
professionals.
you, I know escorts when I see them because escorts, high-end escorts, walk around in, I don't even know how to pronounce these shoes, but I know when I see them, they walk around in Valentinos and Giuseppe's, and we're talking about shoes at like 2,000.
Quick emergency meeting. I was recently searching for my name online and found way too much personal information, which brought me down this weird rabbit hole of how that could have happened, and found out that there's companies out there called data brokers that will sell your data to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. And it's a nasty, disgusting feeling knowing that there's bad actors out there selling my information, selling your information for profit. But that's why I'm recommending today's sponsor, Aura. Now, I use Aura to automatically remove my information from these sites and keep my information off. But they do other things as well, such as bank fraud and identity theft alerts, VPN access. But guys, utilize my link down in the description box down below for a 14-day trial. At least see if you've been compromised. Privacy is king in this day and age, and you should know if your information is out there. So again, utilize my link, aura.com/MTR, in the description box down below to try 2 weeks free. That's way more than enough time to see if your personal data has been exposed. Go now.
I know him when I see him. You know. One became the first lady. No, mother. This is a lie. This is you dumbass right here. Dumbass right here. I'm not lying, you dumb son of a. What's the percentage chances of that?
Yeah, listen, and people ask me, what was Kevin like in person? This was the Kevin that I knew in person. All right. This was the Kevin. All right. And a lot of from a YouTube perspective, you didn't see this Kevin as much. All right. This was the Instagram, the late night Kevin. He will pop off. But I love that he touched on the difference between probability versus possibility, right? Because those are very different terms. Being possible is one of the plagues of our access to social media, because we see possibilities and we have a recency bias. So then the medium to low IQ human mind goes to that this is way more probable than what it actually is. We can all pull examples of very attractive that then we're able to transition to a husband. But when the average woman today is overestimating what it is that they even look like in the marketplace today, there's a lot of delusion amidst.
That's what I thought. Wouldn't bring you ain't gonna call me a lie, but you too pussy to join the trap.
Come on. They never want to join, Kevin.
You think that one woman, how many have become first ladies? That's what's wrong with some of you dumbass young boys. You think because you can see, you think you could have a former hoe as the first lady. That, you know what happened? There's a lot of these young dudes that was raised by their mama. Some of you dudes, you got that need to be right from your mama. Shut up. Don't even know what the hell you talking about. I'm just saying, I just think it's crazy that some dudes like, well, one married the president. She took nude photographs. Do you ever hear anybody say, yeah, man, I used to bang her. Yeah, she was on center stage at Sugars. Some men lack knowledge. I don't mind people lacking knowledge. I don't mind people lacking knowledge. I don't mind people not knowing. What I mind is somebody that lacks knowledge and then they're going to start. See, he said, I lied. So when you're going to challenge me, you better know what the fuck you're talking about. That's when you start. You can be wrong. If I'm wrong, but there's a difference. She mm-hmm. And let's just say for the sake of argument, let's say she was the biggest hoe this side of Skid Row. Let's say she was the biggest hoe in the country. What's the percentage? What's the percentage, guys? What's the percentage? Would you tell your daughter, yeah, honey, go off and run off and be an OnlyFans girl? That's the sure path to success. Ladies, like in dominoes, all money ain't good money. Don't chase that short money. Short money get you screwed up. Think about what's her name, Vanessa Williams. You know, Back in the 80s, she lost a lot because she did that penthouse spread. The kind of men you ladies don't want their men that don't the kind of ladies that you the kind of men that you ladies want. The men that you ladies want, they don't want their women to be passed around. That's just what it comes down to. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Now, before they get started, I find it hilarious how often Kevin used to cook dudes, yet he's only infamous for cooking women. And hear me out when I say this. Extremely aesthetic women that are 304s will probably get what they want at the end of the day because there's enough weak dudes that exist within the world that would still get on bended knee regardless of her past 304 activity. Now, would she ever get the type of guy that she really, really wants or really, really would be happy with or satisfied with? More than likely not, unless she's just looking for a lifestyle. She will always look down on him. She'll make it a pastime out of belittling him, and passive aggressiveness will be second nature to her. Anyway, the lady has taken umbrage to his comments, so let's watch him work.
I am well.
Oh,
All right. So how old are you?
red hair, huh?
36.
36. Okay. What are we talking about today? I'm talking about overestimating values or as a housewife. Or did you have a question?
I don't have a question. I was just saying, I know some men that are like, oh, they love escorts, they love strippers, and they go for those type of women. That's weird to me. So no, it's just weird. Why? That's where the confusion comes into play also. It's like,
You know men, but what do these men earn and what do they do?
just like regular, like fixing air conditioners and stuff like that.
Okay.
And,
I'm making the distinction about men who are making over $100,000 a year.
oh, okay.
So that's we're talking about the higher income men.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you saying? You see women leave the club and get married?
Yes, to men that, yes, I have. But I'm not saying I'm not sticking up for them. I'm agreeing with you also. You know.
Well, I will say that, like I said, a lot of women ask, can you go from being a hoe to a housewife? Hoeing is going to be a hard one. But did they get married or are they just together?
They were just together.
There's a difference. The difference is marriage. See, one of the things about my platform is we can only keep scores in marriages. We can't keep scores in relationships, talking, hooking up, living together. Marriages are is what we can count and is real.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's a good path though. So guys will date a woman. Guys will have fun with it, kick it with, but walk down the aisle with one.
Comes into play too sometimes because like men will date women like that, and then you got healthcare professionals like me that are out there, and we're looking at people like this, and I'm just confused sometimes. Like, to be honest.
Well, dating means having sex without commitments. Mm-hmm. They don't get married, so do you want the outcome just because they're dating them?
No.
All right. Okay. They're in it for something different. But do you have any kids?
Yeah, I have 3 teenagers.
How many all by the same father or different fathers?
The oldest, his father died, and then the younger 2 are by the same man.
Okay. So 2. Well, do you want to get married?
At this point, not really.
So what's the issue then? If you don't want to get married?
I mean, it's just after a while of listening to you, and I mean, I was already kind of like thinking that's kind of like the same way you were. At a point, it's like, first off, I'm a little too busy to be, if you're a real mom and you're really doing it for real by yourself, you're too busy for a man. You're too busy to even act like you want to date or include anyone into the equation. It should feel a little awkward in the first place to even just throw a man into the equation, especially when you got kids that are up in age. It's a little weird for
but you're 36.
I find it interesting that the argument of men being saviors for women with children, but you have a single mom right here that is readily admitting that she doesn't have time for a man within the mix of her busy life. I find that interesting. It's almost like they're disqualifying themselves with their own admissions into the reality that they currently live in, that a guy would be second or third fiddle.
Right.
Okay, how old is your youngest?
15.
Oh, you started early.
Yeah, I did.
So your
So
kids will be gone. Your kids are by before you're 40 years old. Your last kid will be out of high school.
right.
Oh, she started like 12.
So what's the rest of life gonna look like for a 40-year woman?
So,
You're gonna have your $2.4 million saved up.
so right now, I'm just working on my company. It is a baby.
But are you going to have your $2.4 million saved by age 65 to retire on?
I don't know. Let's hope.
There's no hope. As a single one, no, there's no hope. See, if you don't have a man,
I mean, I'm not saying
listen,
that's not what I don't want.
listen, I need you to listen.
Mhm.
This is not about hope. This is about family planning and life. This is adult stuff. If you don't have a man, when you reach 65 in mandatory retirement, you can't work anymore. And you don't have enough money to live on from 65 to 85, you get more expensive as you age. Who's going to pay for you? Social Security won't be there. The government won't be there. Who's going to pay?
I mean, I'm not saying that that's not what I want. Right now, I do not want to.
I don't care what, but see, later is too late.
Listen to me. Later,
Uh-oh.
Later is
in about
too
5 years
late.
from now,
Uh-oh.
in about 5 years from now, they're not gonna focus on me.
See,
That's just okay.
Because I listen to you.
Why do you no. Why do you think it works that way? Why do you think you can make these? Why do you think you have that amount of control?
You contradict yourself because you're
No, I don't know. I just asked you. No, listen. No.
There go the
I'm talking.
attitude.
No. I asked you,
Okay.
why do you think you can make that decision? And you telling me I contradict myself. That's not an answer. That's a statement.
I love these conversations because what Kevin would do would make them think about their future and the choices that they're making now that is amounting up to their future. Chances are you talk about $2.4 million. She doesn't understand the concept of why you would need that much money, the fact that you can invest that money and then pull 4% out a year, let's say. By doing that, you can live into perpetuity, not needing to work again. She doesn't even think like that. What we find is women like this, they just think in the now, in the short term, and they think that once they're ready to start dating again, that they can poof, snap, and while they've gained in age, in body count, in baggage, in ill experience, they think that they're a better choice now for a man in the dating marketplace. Let's let them cook.
But why do I what?
Why do you think you have that much control?
Why wouldn't I? It's my life.
Because you had 3 children. Were you married to either one of the fathers?
No.
Okay.
One died before I could even, and then the other 2, yeah, they're by the same man. But no, if somebody has issues, you gotta cut it off.
Then why have babies with somebody who got issues? See, marry before you carry.
Sometimes when you're young,
no. See, there's the same shit again right there. I'm young and dumb.
Right.
See, one of the biggest problems I have, especially with black women, is you keep excusing yourselves. You give yourself the benefit of the doubt, and then because life gets messed up and stressful, you put it off on being too busy and this and that. And at the end of the day, that sounds. Okay, I'm gonna either have the conversation. I'm going to have the conversation with you or over you. Not going to talk through me. That's just not going to happen.
Go ahead.
The reality is this. It doesn't matter what you think about it or I think about it. Somebody's going to have to pay for you once you retire. If you don't have a man, if you don't have it saved, either you going to pay for it, your kids going to pay for it, somebody, because the government ain't going to pay for it. Where's it going to come from?
Okay, we'll say the kids, because I invest in them. Okay, and I'm
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
I'm building up.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up. That is fucked up. That is fucked
not gonna help your parents?
That is fucked up. It is
You don't
not.
help your parents?
That is. Listen to me and listen to me well, people. This is part of the problem with the black community.
Yeah.
This is fucked that our black mothers like this think that their kids owe them something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
No,
Look.
they don't. No. This is why most of our children are not born out of a loving, respectful relationship. Most of our kids are born out of a
Right.
They're born out of sex.
And they're also not born into any assets. There's no wealth transfer, right? You want to talk about generational wealth, but this is that, right? Like, got pregnant at 12 years old and currently walking around with red hair and an attitude problem. But your kids don't owe you a goddamn thing. Or rather, the expectation that you have on your kids to be able to substantiate life for you is selfish as goddamn hell. Instead of doing everything in your power to ensure that you can support yourself. This is the selfishness. If it wasn't for a man in her life, now her fail-safe is to birth her support later on in life. It's a sickness.
Okay, they're not born in marriage. There's not a plan. But did you? Okay.
For a year.
Okay, so anyway, a whole year. Then you want to say you're young and dumb and this and that. That means no plan. And this is what I was just talking about earlier today on YouTube.
But
giving yourself the benefit of the doubt.
You can't go from a choice that you made at 17 to 20 to 36 and then go back and be like, oh, well, you can't.
No, you can't.
Did that and you did this.
No, you can't. But you are supposed.
I'm raising my children, and I'm laying in my bed, and I'm raising my children. And when I'm finished, then I can focus on them.
And this is the problem. You think this is the problem. They really think they have this. They really think they have this much control. You can't tell them anything. That's what I'm saying. Man, you think you have that kind of, when they're then, I can just plug this in like this, and I'll be young and beautiful. You'll be 41 with 3 kids, and you think a man is going to come in and say, oh, I'll marry you. Sure, I'll marry you. I'll marry you, and then I'll take on all, and then you can take my
responsibility.
Money. All right. So this is the problem. This is what you just seen right now. Is this why I don't give the young and dumb excuse? Because you don't sound like you've learned anything. Because you said I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Man, you don't have that kind of control. Men decide who get married, not you. Men determine who gets married.
So if I decide I don't want to get married, that's not my control?
No, somebody has to decide to marry you first. You can decide whether you accept the proposal. No. See, that's what I think. They think they have control they don't have. A man has to propose to you first.
You act like we have to get married. Like
I don't give a shit if you get married. I don't give a no. Understand something. Understand something. I don't give a. Well, this is the same woman who came on complaining about how strippers get relationships and she doesn't. This is why this is the same person.
I don't say that.
I don't give a man. I bet you do. You got 3 kids. I bet you do. I do. You got the red hair. Exactly. You look like you'd be fun. But again, don't nobody want to marry you. And at the end of the day, I don't give a shit if you get married or not. I don't give a shit if you.
Oh, that would hurt her, Kevin.
I don't give a shit.
I'm not even in a relationship.
I don't give a shit. Exactly. I don't give a shit whether you get married. I don't give a shit whether you get married or not. I just hope that the taxpayer don't have to fund you, because if your kid's gonna have to pay for you, or you're gonna be homeless because you ain't gonna have it together.
Why would they? I mean, I definitely am working and I'm doing it.
It doesn't matter because you take more because you are too hard-headed. You are too hard-headed and too stubborn to hear any goddamn thing. This is the modern woman, modern black woman. Shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right.
This is also why you see so many of them women up on TikTok right now losing their damn mind because they won't receive SNAP benefits in the month of November. Some of them, not all. Their freak out is due to poor planning, emotional decision-making, and years of unaccountability. Bad decision-making after bad decision-making, and chose the government as they pappy until they pappy was broke one month. Let's let Kevin close.
Too defiant in their foolishness. This is a woman who with red hair and Cupid out eyelashes talking about, well, why these men go over here? Because there's not a sliver of paper difference between a ratchet stripper and a ratchet nurse.
Loud, wrong, and strong.
Disagreeable by nature. I was young and I made a mistake. I was joking. Okay. Well, have you learned the maturity anyway? You sound like the same young fool you were before. And after I get these kids out of the house, then I can focus on the men. Why would a man want to focus on your redheaded self? Why would he want to do that? Hey, let me go ahead and come along with you. And then I'll just go ahead and let you take the last 20 plus years of my life so you can be retired. They really believe they have this much control. This is what I talked about the
That's why
entire
they
day.
hated him.
Overestimating. That woman thinks she's the shit.
Yeah.
And you're average with 3 kids and a bad attitude. This is why so many men are like, y'all want people to go out and date this?
Shout out to the passport
Marry
brothers.
this? And women like her, when they're not trying to be impressive for other women online and standing their truth and their power, they know how jacked up their situation is.
Yeah.
That woman knows she's screwed. That woman knows it's over. It's over. She knows it's over because she has been with her entire life. She's seen the men she's dealt with, her kids, and her kids. I want you guys to understand, her kids are going to be her retirement plan. Her kids don't even get to go live their own life. And I'm not saying, and I'm saying that because that's a choice. I'm not saying it because it happened and life happens. Yes, family's supposed to help out family and all that other stuff, but it is fucked up that women are openly saying, I raised my kids, so they need to take care of me when I'm old.
It's crazy.
No. You're supposed to do your best to do what you can to be agreeable, to work with somebody, to make sure any kind of burden, and it is a burden, you push off to your children is minimal at best. What's supposed to happen, lady, is your grown ass is supposed to leave your children something.
Right.
You're not supposed to leave them with a goddamn bill.
R.I.P. to the Godfather. Damn, that brother just cooked there at the end. But, I wholeheartedly agree with everything that he was just saying. Except for I think that he overestimates how much that she knows that she is cooked, right? I think even calling in with the idea of the comparisons to the 304. Meanwhile, she's got 304 hair, 304 eyelashes. That means that she looks at them as idols, right? So she can't delineate the difference between the look, the feel, the texture, the way that a 304 presents themselves with the results that they get in reality. And Kevin even had to ask her, how many of those are rings on their fingers, right? How often do these women get confused their actual status within the dating marketplace with the amount of dudes that are trying to DM them? Are they DMing you to date you and court you? And, eventually, are they serious enough about you to go to that next level? Or do they just want some cakes because your image is that of these same 304s that they see at the damn club? Damn, I miss this brother. Cooking. Like I've never seen cooking done before. The craziest thing, and he actually didn't talk about this, is that I bet you that she's the same type of chick that has a 6-figure a year income requirement for a man. She's had countless men that she's let into her body and 2 men that has the title of making their way to her womb and will still have ridiculous, delusional, irrational requirements as she continues to age. It's actually insane if you think about it, but that's why they hated this man so much, because he would intelligently put a mirror up to their face. It's clear. But the thing is that I think those that are intelligent can take a look at the way that he would do it and first understand that he loved the community that he spoke up for. And coaching may never feel good, right? How many times we all watch coaches up on a bench yell at their players, right? Or, say something in a way that would crumble weak-minded people, right? But at the end of the day, the coach is trying to get the team to win. So it may not feel good. The message may be harsh in nature because losers don't hear a message like that. Winners do. And oftentimes winners have a high tolerance for crumbling under the weight and pressure of different words if it means that those words improves their lives or helps them win the game. All right. My G's out there, continue to hold the line. continue to have your standards, have your requirements, and do understand that the truth will move us forward. All right, guys. Let me know down in the comment box down below, what did you think about this piece of content? I love doing the Kevin flashback pieces of content to remind you guys of the genius that we had on this planet. R.I.P. Kevin. Miss you, bro. Until next time, peace.
Oh, man, yo, if only Kevin Samuels was alive to see this. The prettiest women do the ugliest things. Already know what time it is. It is time to get active.
Gotta subscribe, it's MTR. Hit the like, leave a comment, it's free of charge. Get active, no acting, we men at large. Without further ado, let's set it off. Excuse me.